Well, hey, guys, what is up? What's going on out there today? It is Brent Abel here, webtennis.com. Another episode, another live episode of 7 Around 7. What we are going to chat about today is winning more matches and kind of what matters the least in terms of the things that you could focus on to be able to create more W's. And look, it applies both to singles and doubles as well. We're going to get into that in just a second. Before we do, a couple of announcements, a couple things. Number one, if you're brand new to web tennis and my online coaching, welcome. I've got a couple things I want to get to you over at webtennis.com, webtennis.com. It shows right there below me on the banner. And I've got 3 free courses for you. Right now, the most popular one is the Top Spin Second Serve, trying to show you how to get more natural racket speed so you get power, but how do you impart that high quality upspin, the top spin, so that you get a nice margin of safety over the top of the net, practically eliminate double faults. But certainly you get that nice high bounce that we want over there for that second serve. So it doesn't just sit up on a silver platter for that returner, singles and or doubles. Allow them to take charge. Just go over to webtennis.com and you'll get access to the members area where you can get access to that course and then 2 others. Guys, what else? Look, if you're really into becoming a better player, right? Just not satisfied kind of status quo, right? I mean, you really want to become better. Doesn't matter what skill it is. If you're over at YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button over there so you get notified every time I upload either new pre-recorded content or when I go live, as we are this morning. And then look, if you really if you're a competitive player, and I mean competitive, meaning that, it's just not, oh, it's a beautiful day out here, the birds and the bees, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. If you want to win more, then click the like button. And so I know that this is important to you. And that lets me know that I should create more content for you on how to win more matches. So guys, today we're going to talk about how to win more and really what is the thing that matters the least. And I think that and I've got a couple personal stories, match play stories from my own, from my own playing that this really rings true to me. And we're back today with a great coach, Craig O'Shaughnessy. And as again, if you're not familiar with Craig, he's spent some time on Novak Djokovic's team as his strategist. He's really kind of known out there as kind of the numbers guy, right? I mean, he spends a lot of time digging into numbers, going through stats, going through data, and is always coming up with stuff that is like, God dang it, it's true, it's real. And I know a lot of his stuff comes from the Pro Tour, but a lot of it really applies to us. And so here's an article he's got that I want to show you. That he just recently published that is so true. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And here it is. And let me make sure that I don't have already given you the answer on it. I think I just showed it to you. All right, so here we go. And the title is What Matters the Least to Winning. And so I encourage you to go over to braingametennis.com, braingametennis.com, when we're done today, and just take a look around at what Craig has got. He's got some courses for sale there. I've bought most of them only because I just think it's always good to keep educating, kind of keep getting different opinions. And anyway, so this article is you want to win more matches now that tennis is starting to be played again. All right, but this is also applying to all the matches we're playing. And really what he's going to help us here with is the numbers on what matters the least to winning. And so he came up with 17 metrics, right? He came up with 17 categories of stats. And there's serving category, there's returning category, there's a strategy category, the rally length. And we talked a lot about the rally length, right? The 0 to 4 shots, that if you can win this category, meaning that there's a serve, that's one, there's a return, that's two, there's the server's next shot, that's the third, and then there's the returner's next shot, and that's four. So if you can survive this category, if you can win this category, the 0 to 4, the chances go way up that you are going to win the match, right? So that would be one that would be the opposite of, what's the skill that matters the least? This is one of those categories that matters the most. But as you can see, like with serving, average first speed, serving more aces, first serve percentage, first serve points 1, returning first serve, return points 1, and so on. Strategy, net points 1, less forced errors, 17 different categories. And here's the answer. The most important metric that helped the match winner create an advantage over the match loser was average first serve speed. And so I want you to think about that. And I want you to think about, even if you're not out there actively, practicing your serve. And by the way, you should, because I think it's the most important shot out of those 4, right? We said that if you can survive and win the 0 to 4 shot category in a match, and it doesn't matter if it's, this is really from probably more for singles, but the more I think about it, it really applies to doubles as well. And so, but I don't want to get off topic here about the doubles thing, but look, you should be out there practicing your serve, because I do think that, and not so much, obviously, if the first serve speed metric is the least important to winning, that you should be practicing. Well, how am I going to get my first serve in at a much higher percentage? Number one, without just throwing it in there with nothing on it, but so that you don't give that returner the opportunity, the advantage, the confidence of being able to have a steady diet of your second serves. And look, one of the things that I learned probably 15 years ago was as I was kind of working my way up to try to win, to try to be on the winning side of these national tournaments. And this does apply to both first and second serves. Is I found that I would get against a top guy, and all of a sudden it would be what I would think was, all right, well, I got to win this point, right? It's 30 all. And, we talked the other day about the 30 all. Where should you serve at 30 all? Well, my thought was not what the advice that we got actually from Craig, which was just serve to the body, right? Geometrically, you've got a little bit better net clearance when you go to the body. But it just makes a lot of sense in terms of tying up the stroke technique of that returner. But what I was trying to do too much was go to a corner with some extra MPH. And invariably what was happening is I'd miss it, just wouldn't go in. It would sort of go in often enough, even though it wouldn't be an outright ace, but it would go in often enough that it would kind of keep me coming back thinking that I could try it. And in the end, what would happen is I just was serving up too many second serves to a top player and letting them take advantage. So interesting stat, right? First serve MPH, miles per hour, is the least important thing for winning. So here's what I would tell you is that if you can, number one, upgrade the percentage of your first serves. Now that might mean nothing more than just thinking about a little bit more spin on your first serve, right? Let's not even talk about technique. Let's not even talk about how you're going to do that. But as I've always said, well, what's your target? Your target, if your target's going to be to that returner's body, then rather than thinking about a spot on the inside that service box over there that you want your serve to land, why not think about a spot above the top of the net that might equate to a nice, a nice spot over there in the service box, but bring that target closer to you and start thinking about a spot over the top of the net, and just whatever you would do uniquely for your service motion to add a little more spin, then do that. Try that. Let's see if we can't up your first serve percentage, obviously without just throwing in the sitter, right? So it didn't work for me in those big matches trying to hump up on the first serve. And I know that I know that with some of you that you can actually hit a pretty big first serve. The problem is that you can't actually hit it often enough in a match to make it an important metric, to make it an important stat for you to be thinking about going for it. And so it's kind of like a drug, right? You get that first hit and you think, oh my God, man, yeah, I won that point. Why can't I do it all the time? I don't know, but you can't, right? If you could, you'd be holding serve 100% of the time. Are you? No, you're not, right? So I want you to consider this stop thinking about, well, I got to be the man and I want to hit an ace here by going big somewhere, and start thinking about winning more points. Winning more points, and the reality of that when you're serving is that first serve speed is not the thing that's going to get the job done for you. So, hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm just going with some numbers from the great Craig O'Shaughnessy. Now, look, you guys might argue, well, that's only for the pros. Come on. If you think that we don't try, the rest of us who aren't making a dime on the pro tour, that we're not trying from time to time to go big on that serve, you're not dealing with reality. Come on. So anyway, hope this has helped today. Randall, thanks for weighing in. Jeffrey, who, by the way, we've got the great Jeff Jacklich on tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's Friday. Yes. Yeah. Tomorrow's Friday. We've got Jeff on, and so be sure to join us tomorrow. We'll be on bright and early, right at 7. I know this morning was 7:15, but we'll be on at 7. And Jeff is saying, here's in his comment here, it's just like real estate. It's location, location, location. That is true. And it's consistency, right? It's consistency of making sure that you are getting that first serve in play. Again, without making it so soft, right? With such slow swing speed or look, if you've got a kicker, if you've got the monster kicker, man, if I had a monster kicker, I'd probably be hitting that thing 90% of the time as a first serve, right? I mean, in theory, the monster kicker gets the ball up, first of all, even if that opponent gets a racket on it. Okay, what do you care? I mean, look, let's be honest. And I'm sure Jeff will back me up on this. You can have a pretty, a flattish first serve, but I kind of prefer it. I kind of prefer receiving a flatter first serve because there's less racket work I have to do. There's less stroke technique that I have to do. All I have to do is just make sure that I've got the string bed behind the eventual point of contact early and just borrow the pace off that thing. No, right. I mean, look, if you want to go big and you want to go down the tee to the corner, of course you're going to, once in a while, you're going to hit an ace, right? But if you're thinking because of that one time that you hit the ace, that it's possible that this time at 30 all or 40-30 or 30-40, that you could do it again, I think what you're going to end up finding is that you're going to be throwing in a steady diet of second serves in those situations. And anyway, there you have it. All right, guys. Again, braingametennis.com. Go check out Craig's stuff. He's got a lot of free stuff, but buy one of his courses. Why not dig in? Why not buy one or two of his courses and just see if there's something in there that that you just really, really resonate with. So, all right, guys, that's it for me today. Any questions, any comments on today's topic, right down below in the description area. Let me know. You can also direct message me at Facebook and or shoot me an email, Brent@webtennis.com. And look, if you're working like a dog on your game and there's something you're just not figuring out, I do offer private one-on-one coaching through Zoom, and I end up recording it as a video, so you have future reference when we're done. But if that's something that you're interested in, just shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. I'll get back to you and let you know how that works, what the cost is, and all that. Mark, good morning. Mark saying at a 4-0 level and certainly below, spin and movement on the serve seem to be more effective than pure speed. Well, it is only because the pure speed thing just isn't happening often enough. It's not actually going in the box often enough. Now, look, one thing I will say is that when you go out, and we did this with Mr. Stowe back in the day when we would work on the serve, is one of the things he wanted us to discover uniquely in our physical build, and then throw in some tennis technique as well. Where should the toss be? Basically, he was going, let's discover what you have to do to be able to generate some pure racket speed, right? Now, you could think of racket speed in terms of, well, that means power, right? It does, but without spin. And, again, look, if you're a 6-foot guy, geometrically, you're not tall enough to be able to spike the ball straight down from behind the baseline over the net inside that service line over there. You're just not tall enough, right? So the more pace, the more power you bring, you're going to need some spin to be able to control bringing that ball down inside the service box over there. But what Mr. Stowe would do with us is he would have us, and I caution you, if you try this, you got to make sure that your shoulder is lathered up, is really warmed up, right? Because if you come out of the blocks and go, okay, Brent, well, I'm going to try the drill you talked about a couple of days ago, I guarantee you're going to end up with a shoulder injury. With that said, what he would have us do is, can you serve a ball on a straight line over the net and hit the back fence over there without it kind of looping in over there, right? Can you actually bring so much racket speed that you could just drill a line drive over there? And when I was younger, I could do it, right? I mean, at the end, it might tail off a little bit, but I could actually do it. There's no way I can do that now, right? But I still go out there once the shoulders really loosened up, warmed up, and I will just go with pure racket speed and see how far I can hit it and see if I can't get to that back fence over there. Right now, does that mean that you're then going to start serving that way to the box? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means that you're trying to find that spot in terms of toss placement, in terms of if you're right-handed, how far to the right do you want the toss? Can't be over your head, and it can't be directly in front of you. It's got to be slightly to your right if you're right-handed. Where's that toss position, right? Where's that relaxed grip tension? All those things that uniquely to you contribute to you being able to generate some real racket speed. And from there, once you find that, then all you have to do is go ahead and just add some spin, right? And all that means is just what's the swing path, what's the grip, if you really want to get some spin, then go more Eastern backhand on your grip. Right? I'm more continental, maybe a hybrid between the continental and the Eastern backhand. Certainly in the second serve, I know I nudge it over a little bit closer to the Eastern backhand side so that I naturally get more spin. But that doesn't mean that I'm slowing down the racket speed on the second serve. So same thing on this first serve. You really ought to be thinking, how do I get natural racket speed? And then how do I add enough spin so that it's consistently going in the box and not having to deal with a bunch of second serves. So there you have it. All right, guys, it is time for you and for me to get out there today. Help someone else have a spectacular day. Guys, join me and Jeff tomorrow. We will see you then.